Is this trash or treasure? Trashman is a 1984 game from New Generation Software, coded by Malcolm Evans, you know, of 3D Monster Maze fame. We're starting off on my Spectrum 48K Plus. Welcome to Trashman. And basically what you have to do is collect all the bins in the road and do it within a time limit. It's very simple. The game asks you for your name, which annoyingly you can't enter via the keyboard. You have to use the game's controls, i.e. the joystick or the up, down, left and right. There is a 2-player option, but it's alternating plays. Trashman Chinny, go and collect all the bins from Montague Road. There we go. So that's my little character there. I've got the bin and I take it back to the bin lorry. I empty the bin, I take the bin back. Now kids, you see, this is what bin men used to do. They used to get the bin and then put it back again. None of this take it to the edge of the pavement stuff and then find it halfway down the street. So if you do the task correctly and don't walk on the grass, you'll be invited inside the house, at which point you will be given a time bonus. The bonus is top right hand side of the screen there. It's counting down the entire time. When it runs out, you lose a life. So we go to the next house. And again, we fetch the bin. All the time the bin lorry is slowly moving its way up the street. And you'll be noticing a similarity with Frogger here in terms of the road with cars going back and forth. So again, walk slowly with the heavy bin, empty it. I can now walk at normal speed and then back to the house, being very careful not to walk on the grass. Walking on the grass can, well, it depletes your bonus time. And also a dog may come out and chase you. Take this thing away, my son is obsessed with it, so we're going to get 50 points to go in there and get that. Over to the Amstrad. So here we are in Montague Road. All the roads are based on roads in Bath, or named after roads in Bath. Well, apart from Montague Road, which is in a village outside of Bath called, and I have written this down, Saltford. The Amstrad version does away with all that natty shading from the Spectrum version that you might have noticed. So it looks rather flat compared to the Specky version. Because we're in the 4-colour mode, and of course the Specky isn't restricted to just 4 colours in its standard resolution. So over here we go to get the other bin. Over to the 64, the third of the 3 versions. Trashman Chinny, go and collect 5 bins from Staunton Lane. So the roads aren't the same as the Specky version. There's 7 levels. We do, however, get audio cues for the traffic. You can hear the traffic before and after it's on the screen. So you need to listen out. It's an extra thing the Specky and CPC versions do not have. And you do get the shading on the 64. It gives it a kind of depth. It's very early for this kind of look, but it's really nice. So we're further up the road in Saunton Lane now. And get the bin. So far, it's quite sedate. I am using a cheat on this version, by the way. My bonus, as you can see, is not counting down. Oh no, I've walked on the grass. The dog has come out to chase me. Dog chasing me. I'm just going to run away. If the dog bites you, you end up, well, injured for a short time. You can only walk very slowly. Got the bin there. Again, just walking, not too much traffic around at the moment. There are 7 levels in all, and the traffic does ramp up considerably. I'm not going to get that bonus because I don't need it because I'm cheating. And hopefully, there we go, good day's work there, Trashman. Tomorrow we've got another street for you. Let's see your fare on that one. So off to Pulteney Street. I think the street names are the same but in a different order on the 64. Right, so got the bin there. We've now got on level 2 cyclists on the pavement. So we're back on level 1 Montague Road on the Spectrum. And there we go. That's level 1 completed and I had 95 seconds left. Here we go to Pulteney Road. And we had to... Oh, I'm on the grass. Dog didn't come and chase me though. Down there. Still on the 48k plus here because, well, it's a 48k game really, isn't it? Adds to the aesthetic of it on your 50-inch 4K TV. So drop that down there. Going behind the houses is tricky because you can't see yourself. Over the road. Oh. And now, yeah, I walked over the grass there. And now a dog is coming after me. Oh dear. Oh, it's bit me. Now I can only move very, very slowly. Which is a problem when you come to cross the road. The game came 86. Oh, bring one over. Trashman killed. Yes, although you have 3 lives, if you run over, that's it. Back on the CPC on Pulteney Road. The game came 86th in the Your Sinclair Top 100. Drop the bin back there. Do I want a tip? 50 points. 50 seconds. Alright. Oh dear. So I'm dead on the Amstrad as well. Back on the 64. Where did the bin come from? Where did the bin come? There, it came from there. You do need to remember where you pick the bin up from, because you won't drop it until it's back in the right position. As I say, kids, this is what bin men used to do. Oh, I've been run over. And you get an ambulance on the C64. Here we go. Trying again. And Pat's got a... It's a game that gently ramps up the difficulty. It seems so sedate. And it's one of those games, it's kind of British suburban life. Such a big thing in games of that era. Games like Hover Bother with the lawnmower. And you'll notice on this level now that there is grass by the side of the road, so you can only cross in certain points without diminishing your bonus. Also, we need to note that these are bins that need to be carried. Again, the demographic of ChinnyVision is basically 45-year-old blokes, if I'm reading my YouTube stats right. So we all remember that bins used to be things that were carried, not wheelie bins. So I'm on my +2 now. So things will be RGB and clearer for those of you with large TVs. I've gone into the house then. And right, okay. And let's just say here on Grove Street again, there is grass by the side of the road to make your life more difficult. Such a shame this Amstrad version doesn't have the traffic noises the C64 version does. Oh no, also when you work on the grass out on the road, the dog comes out as well. So you really just must not walk on the grass. C64 version. There you go, finished the level there. We're on to Widcombe Hill. So traffic is getting a bit mad now. And it's just, again, it's Trashman is all about... It's a game about timing, following a route, whilst you've got this Frogger thing going on in the middle. It feels like an evolution of earlier games that have just one kind of idea in them. You've got multiple things going on and it's transformed into a suburban setting. And this is Widcombe Hill on the Specky. And again, if you're expecting to see something new by now in Trashman, then you're going to be out of luck. It's the same game it is when you start on level 1. It just ramps that difficulty level up. More cyclists, more cars, slightly tighter times, but really, it's the same thing. There is a sequel to Trashman, Travel with Trashman, where you travel the world collecting rubbish. I don't think it's as interesting a game as this. It loses that UK domestic feel and becomes something a bit more less generic, kind of Jet Set Willy or Manic Miner style game. Trashman, a game that takes quite a few ideas, collecting things like Manic Miner, crossing a road like Frogger, and carrying out these jobs, and it just feels a little bit more sophisticated than games that have gone before, because you have all these different things going on. The game originated on the Spectrum, but I'm going to say, to make myself unpopular, actually, despite it looking quite different in terms of aesthetics, I do prefer the C64 version. It's the fact you can get the audio cues from the passing cars. You can hear the cars before you see them, so you can judge if you're going to cross the road or not. Gameplay wise, it plays pretty much the same. Aesthetically, of course, the Spectrum version is where it's at. It's how the game's supposed to look. It's the original game. The Amstrad version is, I'm afraid, it just doesn't quite get there. It plays the same as the Spectrum version, but the colour choices and the fact you're restricted to those 4 colours just mean it loses that visually striking appeal. It is, of course, an absolutely iconic game, a brilliant, wonderful game that everyone should play. And it belongs to that category of curiously domestic British games. No bug-eyed monsters, just collect the bins.